on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music.
He started making music in 1958. He loves pot and drives a diesel bus. Please welcome Willie Nelson. Great. I'd love that, but not right now. Welcome to the show, if you will, please. A couple of guys who are a part of maybe the biggest movie project you'll see come to town this summer, short of, dinosaurs raping your city. I think that's probably, that came out last week, right? Yeah. Vince Vaughn, 4 comedians, and a film crew hit the road across America in buses, much like Willie Nelson, maybe that's why you played that music, to perform 30 shows in 30 days. While I'm sure the shows were very good, the movie that resulted, according to both Eric and Joe here, who both saw the premiere screening, is better than just very good. It's phenomenal. Joining us in the studio this morning is Bret Ernst, one of the young comedians that stars in the film, and Ari Sandel.
Yep.
Thank you very much. The director, whose previous films, West Bank Story, because it says Flurry here, Joe. You can't write.
Come on, guys.
Earned you an Academy Award?
Yes.
Well done.
For Best Short Film, actually, just last year, 2007.
Well done. Congratulations. Vince Vaughn's Wild West comedy show, 30 Days and 30 Nights, Hollywood to the Heartland, opens nationwide next Friday on the 8th. Bret Ernst and Ari Sandel, welcome to the Bob Rivers
Thanks,
Show.
man. It's funny you said the Willie Nelson thing, but that was part of the idea. Like when he was hanging out with Willie and they were talking, and that kind of was stirring the idea to go on the road.
Vince and Willie?
Yeah. Vince, there was a lot of inspirations that, he was toying with the idea anyways, but when he was talking with Willie, it was that was part of it. Willie's badass, by the way. I love Willie Nelson, bro.
Most people don't know that Vince is a huge country fan. Huge Willie Nelson fan. Huge Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash.
And, of course, Dwight Yoakam.
And Buck Owens. I was amazed to see Buck Owens in this movie. You don't expect to go see a movie about comedians and have Buck Owens in it.
Well, that was part of the inspiration. He really wanted to resurrect the kind of variety show that Buck Owens used to do with Hee Haw. He wanted to follow along the path that a lot of these first-time or original country guys used to do. So he picked a lot of small towns on purpose.
I'm sorry. And also, too, he liked the correlation between country music and comedy. I mean, just like any live music, really. But, I mean, country, believe it or not, and I'm a fan mostly of hip-hop, but country music is one where people still play their own instruments. They have circuits. You know what I mean? Like, there's like chicken wire circuits in the South where they work their way around. They're not just on TV for 5 minutes singing on a contest, and next thing you know, boom, they got albums. They really put their time in, and there was that little parallel that he saw that he liked as well.
Well, I went, not knowing what to expect. I love comedy. I love live performance. I loved seeing you guys on stage. But what I really got out of this movie was, number one, I don't know if this was your idea, Ari, or whose, but to go and talk to all these guys' parents about how they feel about them being comedians. That was some really enlightening stuff. And also the things you had to deal with that you could have never known you were going to deal with when you started this project. You didn't order Hurricane Katrina to come, which was, it happened when you guys were out on the road. You captured that stuff really well.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we shot the film in 2005, and one of the venues that we were supposed to play in was in New Orleans, and obviously Hurricane Katrina happened the week before we left town, and so we moved that venue to Beaumont, Texas. As we were on tour, Hurricane Rita came. So we were being chased by these hurricanes as we went, and then we decided, let's go to the evacuee camps and meet some of the evacuees, pass out some tickets, and just try to, kind of meet some people. And that became a part of the film as well, because the film isn't just about going up on stage; it's really about touring the country. It's about chasing your dreams. These 4 comics really have a lot of heart.
When you give a hurricane evacuee a ticket to a comedy show, do you hold them to the 2-drink minimum? Or do you kind of let them slide, maybe just get at least free water?
Actually, that was the clean show, believe it or not. Yeah, that was at the college.
In Birmingham.
Yeah, we couldn't. That's the one where we couldn't be dirty. It was funny because when we were on stage, there was literally a cop on the side seeing if we were going to curse. And I'm thinking, what is this, Footloose? Are we allowed not to dance either? You know what I mean? But it was cool. I mean, there was 2 venues. It was that one, which was in Birmingham, and then there was when we did Notre Dame, which is Catholic, which is my religion. You got to keep it clean,
right?
And we respected that, and didn't make the show any harder. It actually added something to it. It was fun.
How about the parental angle? Joe mentioned that. Did you go in knowing you wanted to talk to all these guys' parents, or did you, once meeting the comedians, did you figure out, let's see what caused this?
Well, I mean, the idea for the tour and the idea for the film was really Vince's thing. He wanted to bring live shows to towns that don't normally get it. He wanted to resurrect this variety show kind of thing. He wanted to break these 4 comics. As we were on tour, and shooting different stuff, you kind of follow a lot of different storylines. Is it going to be about the tour? Is it going to be about being comedians? But their parents were coming to certain shows, so we figured, all right, let's interview them. And as you interview the parents and spend so much time interviewing these guys, you really get to know them, and you start to really fall in love with their stories about how they got to where they are. It's really fascinating. They're all different, but have followed a similar path. So it doesn't come together until you go through the editing process. It took us a year to edit the film.
Wow. What kind of commonalities did you find amongst the parents of working comedians?
All of them are of these 4 comics are incredibly supportive. I think probably, Bret, I don't know if this is true for you, but it seemed like some of the parents were a little bit apprehensive at first, like, why are you going to get into this business? It's so hard.
Sure.
But I think now that they've had so much success, are intensely supportive.
Not my mother was from day one she was just happy I didn't end up anywhere else. I mean, she, you know, no, she had a rough, we had a rough time, you know, when she was alone and raising us. So she was just happy that we, you know, were on the right path.
Well, Eric, go ahead.
Bret, I was wondering how you took that upbringing and turned it around and used it as material for your comedy, because a lot of people would let it really get them down about life, and you seem to have some sort of cathartic release when you do your material about your life or your older brother, for example.
Yeah, and well, I don't know. It's just like, you know, I was around everybody I was friends with had problems. You know, it's like I for me, I lost my father growing up, and then you know, and then whatever happened, and then for my buddy lost both his parents. You know, I had another friend that, you know, it was everybody had something. So you just you dealt with it, and you just moved. You know, you did what you did. It wasn't like everybody was sad. You know, it was just you just deal with it. And for me, comedy was just something that, you know, you got to understand. Comedy is a coping mechanism. You know what I mean? That's why you ever see somebody laugh at a funeral. Have you ever been to one and see somebody just crack up?
People loosen up, start telling funny stories.
Yeah, that's what happens. And you know, I always say that's why the theater masks are sad and happy. I mean, it's that close of a line. And then, you know, a lot of guys that you just joke about it, but I never really let it bother me, I guess. I don't know.
Was it kind of weird doing material in front of your mom? I mean, since your material is not exactly clean. I mean, unless you were playing in Birmingham. Or
yeah,
Notre
but
Dame.
she's used to it. You know, it's like I heard a comedian say once that, you know, you should be able to do material that you would do in front of your mom would make it good, and that's assuming that your mother doesn't have a sixth sense of humor. You know, like my mom's a cool chick to hang out with. You know, people like I always talk to her like, you're a mama's boy sometimes. I'm like, yeah, but my mom's cool. You know, like I love hanging with her. She's funny. She gets it, you know.
Ari, working with Vince Vaughn on this, how closely did you get to work with Vince? Was he as hands-on as I'm getting here?
Yeah, he's very intense about whatever he does. So he was absolutely involved in what will the tour be like, what will the movie be like. He handpicked the cities himself, along with the other producers. Even in the editing process, very involved. You know, he's one of the smartest guys you'll ever meet, which is a lot to say for a comedic actor, because a lot of comedic actors don't get involved in the other aspects of filmmaking.
Right.
He's incredible with improv. He's got an amazing vision. He can talk intelligently on almost any subject, whether it be music or sports or politics or history. It's really amazing.